Put a finger down if you are celebrating your birthday downtown Chicago and you get a call that your son went to the bottom of a pool. Comment and let me know if y'all would like a story time, because I'm ready to talk about it. Story time about how I went to celebrate my birthday with my mom downtown and got a phone call that my son went to the bottom of the pool. Part 1. The day that my son passed was June 5th of 2021. I asked my cousin, can she watch my baby for me, because my mom had birthday plans for me. It was a surprise date. I didn't know when I was coming back. I didn't know what was planned. All I knew was that I needed a babysitter. So I called her and immediately she was like, yes, I can keep him. And she knew it was going to be an all-day thing, so that was like not a problem. She knew that. So the morning of my mom come and get me at like 8:30 a.m. They're still asleep at my house, her and my son. They're asleep in the bed. So I leave and start getting, my day started. So they wake up. She texts me, let me know that they're up. I text her, I'm like, do you need anything? I'm like, I left all his clothes out, his clothes, his socks, his shoes, everything, just in case y'all go somewhere. Side note, I left her my car also, just in case they wanted to get out and do, anything. So I told her, like, do you need some money? Do I need to send him some money or anything? She's like, no. So, that's good. That's cool. So, meanwhile, me and my mom, our first stop was full body massages. Our second stop was brunch. Our third stop was the Water Tower Mall. Down. As we're leaving the Water Tower Mall, I get a call from my cousin. So she calls me, but she's pointing the phone to the pool, right? So my baby is in the pool, but he's on my best friend at the time. He's on her hip in the pool. So I never knew that he was going to a pool. I never knew he was going to a party. I never knew any of that. So I'm looking at my baby on FaceTime in the pool. So I'm like, hey, baby. He's like, hey, mommy. I'm like, you having fun? He's like, yes, mommy. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm out with Nene, which is my mom. I'm like, I'm out with Nene. I said, I'll call you later. He's like, okay, I love you, mommy. I said, I love you, Myers. And he said the same thing to my mom. And they told each other that they love each other. And we hung up. Literally, those were the last words that me and my son told each other was, I love you. That's it. So after we got off the phone with each other, we had one more stop to make. That was part of my birthday surprise. We went to this spray paint and sip spray painting class. So this is where things start to get really like weird. So we're driving. When I say we could not find this place, we could not find this spray paint and sip place, like, for nothing. So me being spiritual, I'm literally a spiritual being. I told my mom, I'm like, mama, let's just go home. I said, we'll get something to eat when we get home. Like, it's okay. We don't have to stay here. I said, we can't find it. That's probably a sign that we just, like, let's just go. So she insisted on us going to this spray paint and sip place. So I'm like, you know what? It is part of my birthday, surprise that she had planned for me. Like, okay, like, we'll find it. So we found this man that was on the street and we asked him, like, do you know where this place is? So he told us and we actually found it. So when we get in there, the energy was so heavy. I don't know if it was because we were late getting there. Everything just felt weary in that moment. So we get in there, we actually get through the class, we get there or whatever, and we're spray painting. I'll upload a picture of my painting also, because it has so many signs that something was happening at that moment. Oh my gosh, like, the details in my painting is crazy. So after we wrapping it up at that place, as we're like getting done, we're taking pictures at the end. with our, with our pictures and talking and stuff. So I'm like, okay, mama, like, let's go. So we get in the car to drive off, and I'm like, okay, mama, once we get home, I'm gonna pick up Amayas, and we gonna get something to eat. You can come get something to eat with us or something, but I'm about to go get Amayas when I get back home. Y'all, sure enough, soon as I told my mama that and we got to the stoplight from leaving the spray paint and sip place, I get a phone call. So the phone call is my TT, which is my cousin's mom, call me. And she like, oh my God. And we're like, what's wrong? They just said Amaya went to the bottom of the pool. Okay, part 1 is getting too long, so I'm gonna have to do a part 2. Part 2 on how I went to celebrate my birthday with my mom, and then I get a phone call that my son went to the bottom of the pool. So I left off saying how my TT called us and told us that my son went to the bottom of the pool. So at that point, I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm so confused. My initial thought was that, like, they were informing me that he went to the bottom of the pool and they, like, got him out somehow. My brain never, ever, ever, ever went to tragedy, like, ever. So we immediately hang up from my TT and call my cousin, who, he was with. So I'm like, what happened? Like, what's going on? And she's just, like, stuck. Couldn't talk. Like, I said, what happened? He went to the bottom of the pool. He just went to the bottom of the pool. I said, well, what happened to him? Like, what does he look like? What, like, is he breathing? So she tells me that he's breathing. So as a mom, I'm just kind of like, I just could breathe a little with her telling me that he was breathing. So me and my mom, we're already on the highway. We're doing a dash trying to get there anyway. So then she tells me that the ambulance is there. I'm like, what the you mean the ambulance is there? Like, why is the ambulance? So, after she tell me that the ambulance is there or whatever, like, I'm kind of knowing that it's serious, like, it's getting serious. It's not just like they're informing me no more. And y'all probably think that, like, okay, girl, he went to the bottom of the pool. What did you expect? But as a parent, you just don't think death. You just don't think tragedy. You don't think that it's gonna be as bad as it is. So my brain is kind of like going, like, I feel like my brain was trying to protect me in a way. So after that, I hang up on her. I call his dad. I'm like, you need to get to the hospital. Like, they just told me Maya went to the bottom of the pool. Like, you need to get there. I found out that he's further in Chicago than I am. So I was still going to make it there before him. So I'm like, oh my God. So I call his TT, my son's auntie. I call her, like, get to the hospital. Like, Amias is there. We're still about 30 minutes out. Like, I need y'all to get there to, like, see what's going on. They won't let my cousin and my friend at the time, they wouldn't let them go back. No, I didn't know what I knew now. So I told her, like, you need to get there, like, take your mama and see if they let y'all go back until we get there. So she, she calls me back. I'm on the way. She called me when she gets to the hospital, and they're not letting her back either. Or her mom, which is his grandma. They're not letting them back either. So I'm like, what is going on? Side note, I've never lost anyone this close to me. So I don't know how the hospital work. I don't know, like, what it means, when they're telling you to sign a verbal consent to treat form. I don't know none of this. So I'm new, and to, like, a person who's been through this before, like, y'all probably would think, like, girl, they were giving you all the signs that he was deceased. But I wasn't catching on to him. Like, I just was literally oblivious. I was in denial. I was in, like, everything. Shock, everything. Me and my mom finally pull up to the hospital. We running in the hospital. So I get to the front desk, and I'm like, well, I skipped the part. While we're still on the way to the hospital, I was talking to the front desk receptionist in the emergency room. She was like, do you give me verbal consent to treat? I said, yes, treat my son. So she's like, okay. So that gave me a little more hope, because I'm thinking, if you ask me to, for a verbal consent to treat my son, that you're treating him, that he's alive for you to treat him. So that kind of like made me a little bit more okay. So I get there or whatever, and I'm talking to the lady, the front desk receptionist in the emergency room, and I'm like, I'm Amias's mom. I need to get back to his room. Is nobody there? Like, they're not letting anybody go back there to see him. So she kind of just was like, you could tell she was just like, this is gonna be bad. Like, she just paused and she just looked to the side and she said, I need the room. So I'm steady telling her, like, I need to get back there. Like, you need to, like, let me back. And she just kept telling whoever she was talking to. I think she was talking to the chaplain. I didn't even know who he was at the time. So she like, I need the room. I need y'all to clear the room out. So I'm confused. Honestly, really confused. Like, what room is she talking about? So us back, or take us to like this side room in the ER. So we're sitting there and it's this man there. He's a chaplain, but I never knew what a chaplain was. Like, I'm so new to all of this. So I'm sitting in there, he's talking to me and, doing what chaplains do. I don't remember everything he was saying, but he was talking to me. And I'm sitting there, my legs are shaking. They're going a mile a minute. They're shaking terribly. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, okay, like, I still got hope for my son. So they just kept telling me that the doctor is gonna come in. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm still just shaking. I'm worried. I'm nervous. It's me and my mom in the room together. I'm sitting there. I'm shaking. I'm terrified at this point. Death still never crossed my mind. Part 3 on how I went to celebrate my birthday downtown Chicago and got a phone call that my son went to the bottom of the pool. I left off at the part there where we were in the side room in the ER where the chaplain was. So they told me that the doctors are gonna come in. So I'm like, okay. So at this point, I know that it's getting, like, I know that it's bad. So I'm in denial at this point. Like, that's the stage of grief that I'm in at this moment. I didn't even know my son had passed away, but like, my brain was not comprehending what was going on. So I knew it was bad. So at this point, I'm like, okay, tell me he on the ventilator. Tell me he on life support. Tell me something. Like, I was going to take anything. I was going to take tubes everywhere. I was going to take, like, I was ready and I was prepared for that. I didn't care. So I literally was sitting there. We were quiet. We were silent, but we're sitting there. You could tell me and my mama so nervous, like, to see what, like, that they were going to say. So the doctor comes in. Doctor got on a white coat. He comes with 3 nurses behind him, 3 ladies, and they all got on teal color scrubs. I remember it like it was yesterday. They come in and they all sit down. So the doctor is talking to me and he's like, do you know what happened to your son? I said, no. All they did was call me and told me that my son went to the bottom of the pool. That's all I know. And I came straight here. He said, well, when the paramedics arrived, he did not have a pulse and he did not have a heartbeat. So I'm like, wait, what? She told me he was breathing. He said he was not breathing. I said, okay, I'm like, what's next? Okay, you told me that. What's next? He tells me, does your son know how to climb a ladder? I said, yes, he know how to climb a ladder. He has a bunk bed. Him and my older son shared a bunk bed, and Amias had the top bunk. So I'm like, yes, he knows how to climb a ladder. He said, okay. He said, we believe that he climbed in the pool on his own, unattended, and got in the pool. So I'm like, okay. Like I'm still like, I feel like I was still in shock. Like I was not trying to hear how bad this was. Like I still didn't think it was that bad. So I'm like, okay. So it got silent. The whole room got silent. It got heavy. So I was like, okay. And he was like, I'm sorry, but we did all that we could do. I said, okay, like, what does that mean? And he just said that I'm sorry. And immediately, like, when he said that, Grey's Anatomy popped in my head. And I know that's what they say when, like, that's it. When somebody has died, you know, that's what they say to a family member. And after that, I just remember, like, going black. Like, my vision went black. And I immediately stood up. I stood up. And I remember the nurse coming behind me. And, like, I was getting ready to, like, fall back. And I remember just her pushing me up with her hand and just saying, don't fall. And when she said that, my mom got up. And we just started screaming. Like, screaming. So loud. It was like, still to this day, it's just like unbelievable that this has happened. Like, that this happened to me. You always hear about, like, things happening to other people, but it never hit home. Like, this hit home for us so bad. Like, still to this day, it's just unbelievable. Like, I just didn't know how to feel in that moment. Like, every emotion you can think of, what, you know, was going through, you know, me. Like, just everything. Sad, mad, pissed, angry, wanting to somebody. Like, it was just terrible in that moment. Part 4, on how I went to celebrate my birthday and I get a phone call that my son went to the bottom of a pool. Okay, y'all, so please bear with me. I do want to let y'all know, before I tell this part of the story, I do have 2 different sides as to what happened, because my best friend at the time and my cousin were blaming each other. So please bear with me if the stories get, like, a little confusing, because still to this day, I'm still a little confused. I don't have a solid answer as to what happened to my son still. So what I do know about the story is my cousin woke up, got my baby and herself together, put on their clothes or whatever, and called her sister. Now, her sister is also my cousin. These are my first cousins. These are my mom and their mom are blood sisters. So these are my first cousins. So Amias and my cousin went to go get my other cousin. They all 3 met up with my best friend at the time and her sister. So that makes 4 adults, 1 child. So they all went to my best friend at the time. They went to her girlfriend's house. And got invited to a graduation party. Now, this is a graduation party, first of all, at another house. My child was the only toddler at this party, which I'm still so confused about, because he had no business there in the first place. This is a graduation party. Y'all, please stay with me. The house that the graduation party was at, I have no clue where this house was. I knew not one person at this house. I did not know whose graduation party it was. I had never seen these people in my life. And they took my baby to this graduation party. And I do want y'all to know I didn't find out this information until after everything happened. So, when they called me, and showed me my baby in the pool, it was 4 adults that I trusted with my child. It was 2 of my first cousins there, and it was my best friend at the time, which was his godmother, and her sister, which I was really close with also. So I had a trust with these people. I'm like, it's 4 of them there. When I seen him, yes, I was taken back that I seen my baby in a pool, but I seen him on my best friend at the time. I seen him on her hip. It gave me a more sense of security. I had 4 people that I trusted there with my baby. I'm like, there's no way, in my mind, I'm like, he's safe. They're going to take care of my baby. Okay, so the story is they got to the party. My best friend at the time and my cousin that I left my baby with, their sisters, which is my other cousin, and then her sister, got drunk. And they got drunk pretty much, and they were ready for them to leave pretty much because they were drunk. So all 4 girls, y'all, stay with me. All 4 girls got in the car, drove maybe, I think it was like 7 minutes, drove 7 minutes to drop the drunk girls off to their cars, and then came back to the party. Now, in the midst of them taking the girls back to their cars, they left my baby at the party. Y'all, when I tell y'all that I did not know these people. I did not know whose house this was. I did not know a soul there. So, of course, my baby is not going to know anybody there. So, my question is to them, why would y'all leave my 3-year-old son at a house with a pool with people that he did not know? This part is so much harder to tell than the other parts. I don't know why, but it just reminds me that y'all did not give a F about my son. Y'all couldn't have gave a F about my son. Seriously. Like, this part is starting, the anger is coming out. Just me telling this part of the story. So, when they arrived back, so when my cousin and my best friend at the time, when they came back from dropping the girls off at their cars, one story was a 10-year-old girl got in a pool and found my baby at the bottom of the pool. The 10-year-old girl got out of the pool, started screaming, and ran up to my best friend at the time and told her, it's a baby in the pool. It's a baby in the pool. And then that was one part of the story. The other part of the story was they got back from dropping them off at the cars and just walked back to the back of the house where the pool was. They sat down, I guess talked, or they were on the phone, or whatever the case was. They were just sitting around. Didn't check to see where my baby was when they got back from dropping him off. That's another story that I was told. The inconsistencies as to what actually the story leading up to what happened. And I know it's confusing to y'all because it's still confusing to me. I used to literally sit at the table and piece pieces together to figure out what happened to my son, but I realized I was going crazy. Like, I was losing my mind trying to piece together. So at this time in my life, I'm okay with not knowing the story as to what happened. Maybe one day when I get enough strength to actually ask them to be honest with me and tell me what was the story, like what happened up to y'all, leading up to my son passing. But I'm not there yet. I don't want to talk about it now. Like, it's been 4 years, so I'm kind of okay where I am, not knowing the actual story. After they let my child drown, they still didn't have the decency and was still lying about what happened to him. But this is getting long. I'm gonna have to do a part 5. I did not know this was gonna be so long. I'm gonna do a part 5 and tell y'all what happened when they got him out of the pool. Okay, part 5 about how I went to celebrate my birthday and get a call that my son went to the bottom of a pool. So when they figured out that he was in the, he was like laid at the bottom of the pool, my best friend at the time and my cousin, as they say, were in shock. So they didn't jump in and get him. Neither one of them did. My best friend at the time, her girlfriend jumped in, got Amias, picked him up from the bottom of the pool, got him out. And this might be a little graphic. I'm literally just trying to talk about it. Like, this is therapy for me, y'all. So I'm just kind of like ready to tell the details. How someone looks when they're like, when they have drowned for an amount of time, a long period of time. The mouth, the eyes, all of that. That's what they said when she pulled him up out of the water. That's what they seen. She laid him out on the ground and did CPR on him until the paramedics got there. So I guess while she was doing the CPR, they were, the owner of the house and them were on the phone with the paramedics, talking to them until they got there. They told them to continue doing CPR until they got there. Did CPR. Now what they did tell me, which was another lie, he had a faint pulse. But knowing what I know now, like, no, he didn't. Like, he was already gone. And I do want to let y'all know, I found out like maybe a month later the amount of time that he was in the pool. Y'all, it's literally disgusting how long my baby was in the pool. And it was an extended period of time. Like, there was no coming back for him. He was in a pool that long. So the paramedics got there, got him in an ambulance. They did not let my cousin, or my best friend at the time, they did not let them go in the ambulance. Pretty much they told them that they could follow the ambulance, but they cannot ride in the ambulance. And then that leads into like us, getting to the hospital. That leads into that other part. So I know y'all still got a whole lot of questions. I'm gonna try to go through my comments and see, the amount of questions that people ask the most, and I'll make another video answering some questions. And I do want y'all to know that tomorrow makes 4 years that he's been gone. So I'm actually able to talk about it now without crying. And like I said in the other part, I talk about this so much. Like, it's therapy for me. Like, I help other people. And that's another story. Like, the fact that how I'm getting through this situation is like mind-blowing. Y'all, I don't know, it's just God. I give like all glory to God in this situation, because how is somebody like still living everyday life with other kids, and still having to wake up every morning like, something this traumatic didn't happen to me. So I'll be making other videos about how I've been getting through this, and with my older son getting through this, and I'll probably make a video about me telling him what happened too, because he wasn't there. So yeah, just be looking forward to more of my videos, talking about my journey, as this is therapy for me, y'all. So yeah. Part 6 about how I went to celebrate my birthday and got a call that my son went to the bottom of the pool. So I told y'all that I answered some questions that I was seeing in the comments. The first question that everybody wants to know is, did I press charges? Did they go to jail? What happened with them? Y'all, if y'all think for a second that I did not press charges, y'all are crazy. Yes, I pressed charges. Now, the only person that I could press charges on is my cousin. That's it. They told me I could not press charges on the other 3 at all. That's it. So yes, I pressed charges. Did the charges stick? No. We went through maybe about a year of this before they actually closed the case. The prosecutor basically said that it was an accident. And the reason that it was ruled an accident is because it was not malicious intended. She did not maliciously drown my son. So they ruled it an accident. Yes, we fought to push the charges through. No, they did not stick. So that's that about what happened with charges being pressed. Yes, I wanted to file charges against everybody, but I could not. Only the one that I left him with, that was in whose ever care he was in, that's who I could charge. The next question I see a lot is, how is my relationship with my family? That literally split my family down the middle. Like, it split us straight down the middle. My TT has 2 daughters, which is my 2 cousins, and my mom has 2 kids, which is me and my brother. I have a brother. The situation split us straight down the middle. It was terrible when it first happened. My mom and my auntie, that relationship was severed. Like, it was done. Of course I'm not talking to them. No, I'm not gonna have a relationship with them. Like, it was pure neglect on my cousin's end. You couldn't have loved me nor loved my child to let anything like this happen. So yeah, no, I don't talk to her. I don't talk to none of them. But more recently, my TT didn't have anything to do with it besides her daughter calling her before she called me. That's how my TT got in the mix of anything. So my TT was just put in a very bad spot, with that being her daughter, and my mom being her sister, I'm being her niece. It was just a very bad spot for my TT to be in, because that's her daughter. Now to this day, my mom and my TT, they are very close now, like they were before it happened. It took time though. Like, it didn't just happen overnight. Me and my auntie, we're getting there. And I'm not mad at my TT. I understand the position she was put in. She didn't choose to be put in that position. So yes, I still love my TT. Yes, I still talk to my TT. She had nothing to do with it besides that being her daughter. I see a lot of people saying, that's why I don't let people take my kids to the pool, or my kid could never go to the pool with anybody, or I see a lot of comments along those lines. And yes, do not ever let y'all kids go to the pool with nobody. Nobody. Not saying that you will be in my predicament, but nobody's gonna watch your kid how you watch your kid. I don't care what they say, it's not their child. And a lot of people just careless when it comes to water about children. So yes, I agree with y'all. Do not ever let nobody take y'all kids to the pool. I'm 100% behind y'all on that. I agree with that. I did not let her take my child to the pool. Like I said in my other video, I didn't know my baby was in the pool until I seen him on FaceTime, and he was having the time of his life. So yes, yes, he was in the pool, you know, yes, he was having fun at that time. Yes, everything was good at that moment. So that's that. So yeah, make sure y'all don't let nobody take y'all kids to the pool ever, unless they're with you. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they know how to swim. It's a no for me. Have I talked to any of them? And were they at the hospital? Yes. Both of them were at the hospital. Both of them were. At the time, we still, at that very moment, like at the hospital, it was so much going on. We still didn't know a full story. The police were investigating them though. I can't think if they investigated them before, which they probably didn't because they came straight to the hospital. So it probably been after everything they investigated them, because this was an open case. Like, they had to make sure that this wasn't a homicide. This was a case. Like, this was a real case. They had to make sure it wasn't a homicide. They had to make sure it wasn't foul play. So yes, they were being interrogated. Yes, they were being questioned. Like, everything. It was a whole thing. Have I talked to them since it happened, like, or after it happened? My cousin, no, she has tried to talk to me. I have not responded to her. Going on 4 years. No, I have not seen her in 4 years. My old best friend, no, I have not seen her in 4 years. My other cousin, I did see her, but I did not see my ex-best friend's sister. I haven't seen her in 4 years either. Yes, they both tried to come over and explain their side of the story, but it was just too many lies at that moment. Like, I didn't know what to believe. So I kind of was just like overhearing it. Like, I didn't want to hear, you know, nothing with all the lies that were going on. It was too many different stories being told, and it was just like making things worse for me. So yes, they did try to come around. But after that, after I didn't want to talk, to my ex-best friend, I never heard from her again, after she got caught up in a lie. Like, done. Because why y'all gotta lie? Like, just tell me what happened. Like, it's already bad enough I don't have my son. Like, it's terrible. The whole situation is just bad. Like, I'm still, you know, still to this day, I just still don't know what happened, because I was tired of hearing lies. The next question I see is, was this on my birthday? No, it was not the day of my birthday. My birthday is June 18th. He passed on June 5th. But our June is kind of crazy for us because my oldest son's birthday is June 11th. So our June always is kind of busy. So my mom was trying to figure out like a weekend that I would be free so that she could take me out for my birthday. And that happened to be on June 5th. So no, he did not pass away on my birthday. 13 days before my birthday, yes. Part 7 about how I went to celebrate my birthday and get a phone call that my son went to the bottom of a pool. So, this is my second part answering questions. So another question that I seen was, um, what happened with the homeowners, like whose house it was. Do y'all know still to this very day, nobody sent their condolences to me. Nobody reached out to say sorry. I still to this day, I don't know these people still to this day. If it was me, I would have been doing everything I could to like apologize to the person, apologize. Y'all know, still to this day, nothing. Nobody reached out to me to say sorry. Just nothing. Like, everybody, like, it's just terrible. Like, terrible people. What the other question was, could I sue them, or like could they get in trouble? And no, because the pool was gated. In Indiana, like your pool has to be gated. Their pool was gated, and they had floaties like laying around. Um, yeah, they had floaties laying around. So how the detective explained it to me that those were the two things that they needed to have. So they did not get in trouble for it. Um, why they left him at the house, y'all, that's something that I still don't know to this day. I can't answer that for y'all. Until one of them, you know, until any of them tell me why they left him, I won't know. That's not They didn't have an answer for me when I asked that. I don't know why they left him. Um, what else? I'm trying to look for more questions. Um, Cause somebody could have stayed behind. Absolutely. It didn't take four people to go drop two people off. One person could have stayed back. Yes. I agree with that. That's what I wish would have happened. Did they tell anybody that they were leaving? That I don't know. I don't know if they told anybody. I would think if they told somebody that person would be watching him. So I don't know. Um, Let me see. Oh, this is a good one. My son did not drown when I seen him on the FaceTime. At that moment, he did not drown then. Everybody had to get out of the pool, and he found his way back to the pool. So, no, at that time it wasn't like somebody, like they dropped him in a pool or um anything like that. No. They all got out of the pool, and then um since he wasn't being watched, he found his way back. Um yeah, so that, let me see another question. Um what else? Why did they lie to me about him breathing? I think that she just didn't want to face what happened. So she lied. I guess to make me feel okay in the moment. I don't know if they knew that he was dead already, because the paramedics didn't confirm that at the scene. The paramedics still took him to the hospital, so I don't think they knew that he was dead. But I do think that they should have known that he wasn't breathing. So to tell me that he was breathing is crazy. And no, the hospital did not tell me he was breathing. No, my cousin told me he was breathing. So the hospital didn't tell me that. The hospital did tell me to verbally sign a consent to treat form. And then when I got to the hospital, they made me physically sign a consent to treat form. So that's where the misleading part come in. Because I'm thinking like, y'all are treating him. So I had some type of hope. Yes, now I was definitely fully in denial about everything. My brain wouldn't let me accept or wouldn't even let me process that it was as bad as it was. Um, yeah, I addressed that. Oh, how long was he in a pool? This is very hard for me to say. Very hard. I really haven't told many people how long he was in the pool. But since I'm being open and vulnerable, I'll let y'all know. He was in the pool for 15 to 20 minutes. It's disgusting. Very disgusting. Yeah, it makes me sick to think about how helpless he was just in a pool for that long. Like he had been gone. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it takes about maybe 5 minutes to be brain dead. I could be wrong, but so he was just there, in the bottom of a pool, just helpless. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to say. Um, mm, what else? Oh, his dad. I got a lot of questions about his dad. So I told y'all that his dad. Um, what did I say about his dad? Um, Okay, so I ended up, after they told me and my mom, I'm sorry for y'all, I'm sorry, but we did all that we can do. We ran out of the hospital. Um, so we ran out of the hospital. I called, I was getting ready to call his dad, and his dad's mom, of course, she was there. She was like, just wait, Paris. Like, he's driving, like, just wait. And I said, no, I gotta call him because it was so many people at the hospital. But I felt alone. Like I felt like alone. Like the only person that could feel how I feel right now is his dad. So I said no and I called him anyway. So remind y'all, he's coming from Chicago further than I was coming from Chicago. So I'm on the phone with him and I'm like, he's gone. I'm just talking to him like, he's dead. Like, he's gone. And he like, don't say that. He's sobbing and just crying and just like, don't say that. No, he not. No, he not. He not gone, Paris. He not gone. I said, yes, he is. Like, just get here. And I hung up on him. And then when he got there, we all went back into the room. And that's when they started talking to us about like, giving us a little bit more details on what they know at the moment had happened, and like everything they talk to you about. The detective is in at this time, the CPS lady is in at this time, the chaplain is in at this time. Like everybody is in this room with us, like talking to us. And when I say I did not see his face, and he had real long dreads at the time, like real long dreads. I did not see his face the whole time. He kept his head down and his dreads were just like so long covering his face. And he never lifted his head up the whole time. Even when it was time for us to go back in the room, in the ER, in the back part to see him, he never lifted his head up. He never looked at nobody. So he took it very hard, just as hard as me. So y'all, this is the painting that I painted when I guess he was passing away. Why would I ever put this there? Like, that's kind of weird to me. The painting I painted in his favorite colors, which was weird. The dinosaur stencil in the top left is his he love dinosaurs, the T-Rex to be exact. I put the dinosaur up there. And a butterfly that represents transition. And right before he passed, y'all, I grew an obsession with butterflies. Like, it was literally crazy. I was about to go get a butterfly tattoo. I changed my iPhone watch cover to butterflies. So y'all, the butterflies. Back to the butterflies. So I stated that I think our second stop that day was at the Water Tower Mall. So I had a Pandora bracelet. And in the Water Tower Mall, I'm like, oh mama, let's go to Pandora. So I'm not a pink girl at all. I don't like pink. I'm more of a green. My favorite color is green. So I was looking for a butterfly. Now, as I just told y'all, I started like a month before, started growing this obsession with butterflies. And she was like, no, but I got this one right here. And I'm like, okay, let me see it. It was pink. I'm like, no, I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. I want a green one. And she was like, but you're not even gonna be able to tell, that it's pink when it get on your bracelet. So she kept telling me to get this butterfly, this pink butterfly charm. And I'm like, no. So I gave in and I bought it. So come to find out it's his birthstone. So I'm so glad I went and got that. I went and actually got the charm. Like, I went through with it. So that was one instance of something that happened before he passed. That didn't make sense until after he passed. Another thing, this is big, y'all. Like, y'all ain't even gonna believe this. A week before, maybe a week and a half before this happened, y'all, in Indiana, we got a swimming school called Aqua Tots. Y'all, a week and a half before my baby passed away, I signed him up for Aqua Tots to learn how to swim. He was supposed to start his swimming lessons on June 17th, y'all. It's just so heartbreaking how this happened, like how all of this played out. Because I literally had everything set up for my baby, like getting ready, for the summer. So signed him up for Aqua Tots. Went in Burlington, like it's a store we have out here in Indiana called Burlington. Went to Burlington. Bought him a life vest, him and my older son. I bought them both life vests and I bought them both swimming trunks. So the freaking irony of that is like, bro, I just bought them stuff to get ready for the summer. So I bought that, and had she known, if you were gonna take my baby to a pool, I literally left the bag of life, what I bought from Burlington, at my mama house. So she could have literally went to go grab, their life vests and their swimming trunks. I had just bought them, y'all, a week ago. So that too was just crazy to me. All of the signs was there, everything happened, God was showing me signs, but I wasn't picking up on them at all. You just don't think that your son, your child, is gonna pass away. Nobody thinks that their child is gonna pass away, especially not at 3 years old. So yeah, that was another thing that happened that was really crazy. That he was supposed to start swimming lessons 2 weeks later. What else? his service. Did they get to come to his service? And no. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna see if I can like upload some videos. Well, I will upload some videos like at his service. We had a horse and carriage for him. We let doves go, 3 white doves go for him. His repast was really nice. We had like a setup, like a cutout of him. So that was nice. What else can I speak on? Let me look back at the videos and see what other questions I have. Like add this question in. Somebody asks, was his dad mad at me? Absolutely not. He know I'm a damn good mama to my kids, and I'll never put my kids in harm's way, like ever. He had something to do that day. My mama wanted to take me out. My mom usually keeps my kids, so I had to find somebody to watch my baby. And my cousin, this was not her first time keeping my son ever. My ex-best friend at the time, tremendous amount of time she's watched my son. So these are not new people that was watching my child. These are people that were like almost every weekend around my child. So these are not new people, which is why this is crazy to me. Like, y'all know how I am about my child. You know, when I say drop, say it again. I love you, mommy.
I love you, mommy.
I love it. Only one people around that's gonna make me
Damn. Say cheese. Why you got my shoes on?
Amaya.
Myers. Say hey, Dada.
Hi, Dada.
You want to go over Dada's house?
Hey, Dada.
You said you want to go over Dad.
Never die. And so we're releasing the doves to recognize the spirit of Amias, to go back to God from whence it came. The only thing that belongs to God after we leave here is the soul. And the soul was given by God, and the soul shall return to God. Thus we release the purest of birds, the dove. When Jesus was to be baptized, he didn't send the eagle, he didn't send the ostrich, and he didn't send the falcon. He sent the dove. The dove landed on Jesus. And he said, "This is my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased." When the earth was destroyed, they sent the dove. And the dove brought back a... We release the doves now. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.